Hey, this is Trail from Crossing the Trail. I know it's been a little bit. Things been busy, school starting virtually, work continuing. So before I go any further, don't forget like, subscribe, like. Anyway, and hit the little bell so you can get notified on those occasions when I do add content. I want to talk to you a little bit from my heart, because it's something I experienced this past weekend. With all that's been going on and all that and all the years, I had never been to a Latin Mass. And a friend of mine asked if I wanted to go with him because he'd never been to one either. But, why not? So we went to a high Mass. I mean, if you're going to go for it. Go for it all. So we went to the high Mass and sat near the back so we didn't look stupid. And unfortunately, it meant I didn't kneel much because we didn't have any kneelers, and we wanted me to be able to get back up again. But still, spent a lot of time in there, participating when I could, but really absorbing all that was going on around me and thinking. And I mean, that was Sunday. This is Thursday, and I'm still in what I would consider an afterglow phase. It was truly amazing, heavenly even. I was totally blown away. But while I was sitting there taking it all in, at least trying to, a word popped into my mind. I'm not saying God gave me this word. It could have been my mind, connecting the dots. But here's the word: connection. And what do I mean by connection? Glad you asked. Really, I think it was three things. One was, felt connected to the original worship of those first Christians. The original forms of worship, where there was the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist. It wasn't like modern evangelical worship. I've led worship in Assembly of God churches, in Calvary Chapel-ish non-denominational churches, even in Churches of Christ. And the worship is usually new and updated and just a new innovation. And you know what? It's not the same. I'm saying we have to do everything the same, like we're all going to speak Greek and we're all going to dress the same. No, but the form of the worship was different. It was man-made. Some of it was in an attempt to follow the Bible, as if the Bible alone was all we had, and not the tradition from the apostles of what the worship was supposed to look like. But for the first time, I truly felt connected. I thought I felt that way at a regular Novus Ordo Mass, but it really hit home at this Mass, that by going there, I had a connection to original worship. Another connection was to original doctrine. The order in which we received things initially was magisterium, oral tradition, and then scripture. Think about it. The way that truth was given to the apostles when Jesus said, I'll lead you into all truth, was magisterium, gave them the authority, and then orally, and then some of them wrote it down. Not that he told them write a book, because after you're gone, that's all we got. No. But it came that way: magisterium, tradition, scripture. And you know what? The doctrines that have been taught ever since then, since the days of the apostles, are not new. Unlike the doctrines I experienced in evangelical churches, which are really 16th, 19th, and even 20th century innovations, things that had never been taught before. No, this was doctrine that has been always taught, that's been handed on from generation to generation. And there I was connected, and to be fair, just like I am at any Mass, to the original doctrine. And I also felt connected to original authority. Not the chaos of personal interpretation saying the Bible is the ultimate authority. No, because you have to read it and determine what it's saying, which makes you the ultimate authority because you have to decide what the Bible is saying and then act accordingly. So, Jesus promised to lead his apostles, and by implication their successors, into all truth. Not every single Christian. They were supposed to do that through the apostles and their successors. That authority is why, not just, you're Peter and on this rock I'll build my church, but that's why he was given the keys. All the apostles are part of the foundation of the church, with Jesus Christ being the cornerstone, but only Peter was given the keys. You say, wait, no, in Revelation even it says, Jesus says he has the keys. Well, of course, it's delegated authority. Peter should have access to what Jesus has and gives him access to, and that is the keys. That is his authority. Because with any other system, and to be fair, I'm including the Orthodox in this on this side, but in any other system, at some point when you go back in history, somebody somewhere decided that they were self-appointed and self-ordained and ordained themselves to be an apostle, prophet, elder, whatever. At some point, if you're not from a church from the first century, somebody somewhere decided for themselves that they were going to be pastors. It's not handed down from Christ to the apostles and their successors clear through. And so what they do is they say, God told me to do this, and I'm going to make myself this pastor and then ask God to bless it. See, that's called taking the Lord's name in vain. Asking God to bless your idea instead of following his idea and his authority. So, if you have a chance to go to a Latin Mass, especially a high Mass, go. And perhaps you'll feel the connection at any Mass you go to the original worship, the original doctrine, and the original authority. Because you know what? When we have an altar call, there's an altar, and you go call. So, I pray that this somehow speaks to you, to your heart, and that you'll desire to find out what that connection is and explore it for yourself if you haven't already. Have a great day, and may the peace of Christ reign in your hearts today and always.